guys, welcome to another crafting video. Today we're going to be making baby Melody a bed. It's going to be for her room when it's finished. So what you'll need for this is any kind of small Barbie box container. I had to retape this one. I'll probably have to make her a better bed when I have a better box, but for now this one will work. So yeah, any small Barbie box container, needle and thread, some tape, and cotton balls. Oh, and also some felt. You can also have any type of cute decorated toothpick for the edges of the bed. Remember, since we're using needle and thread, you always have to have adult supervision. You also need scissors, which also require adult supervision. First, we're going to begin by cutting off one larger side of the box, so that way it can make the outline of the bed. So now that I've cut that, this piece is kind of falling off. So I'm going to need to retape it onto the sides. Now we have the bed frame. We'll paint this later. Now it's time for the actual bedding. For this we'll need the cotton balls, the felt, and the needle and thread. We'll begin by seeing how many cotton balls can fit in this. And we don't want to shove as many as we can in there. We want it to be kind of loose. So that way there's still room to actually put the bedding in here. I'm going to fit 2 more because it looks like there's going to be a little too much space if we don't. So I think we'll do that. Okay, so that's how many cotton balls we can fit in this box. It might be different for you. Just try to keep it in rows that are the same amount on each side. For me, it's 3 cotton balls by 4 cotton balls. So you need to take them back out of the box and get them lined up in the same order that you had them in the box. And then it's time to pick out which color felt you want. You don't have to match the felt with the color of the box currently because you can always paint the box. In fact, we will get to that in just a moment. So Melody's room is going to have a black and white wall, a picture of her and her mom. It's also going to have a couple pink ones. So the best choice of felt for me would be probably either black or white, because those two kind of match with those colors the best, because there's the black and white wall, and then I might end up having a pink wall. So the rest of the colors I can put aside. Now I need to figure out which one will work the best, which one will cover it the most. Looks like the white one will work. The black one might not. But since I'm using black thread, I don't think it'll matter which one I use. So I think I'm going to go with the white one. Because that way, since I'm using the black thread, it will just kind of blend. Make sure you always know what you're doing when you have needle and thread. Because if you don't know how to sew, then it kind of can lead into a big disaster. And always make sure your parents know that you're going to do this. So once you have it folded over, here, let me just get this stood up. Okay. Once you have it folded over the cotton balls, make sure that there's no excess fabric or felt. And what you're going to do is you're going to pinch the side to figure out where you're going to need to stitch. You'll need to do this on both sides. So I'm just going to begin. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to push the cotton balls up a bit because of this little piece right here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is make sure all the thread is in here. I'm going to make sure all the thread is lined up neatly. Then I'm going to make sure this is lined up neatly. So, I'm going to begin. Alright, if you don't know how to tie it off, I will show you how. So what you're going to do is you're going to stitch actually back a little tiny bit from where you just finished. What you're going to do is you're going to leave a small space. Okay, leave a small spot right there. Like that. Just a small amount of thread. So that way you can tie it. You're going to carefully come up again and slide it through that hole so it will tie nice and neat, just like that. And if you want to be extra careful, you can do it again. Sometimes if you do it a second time, it's better to actually go under the hole you just made and then go under there and tie it off. Then you're just going to cut off this thread right there. And then you're going to cut off. Make sure you always stick your needle back in the little thread thing so that you do not lose it in the floor, because that never feels good. So now what we're going to do is we've got a bunch of extra pieces, a lot of extra pieces on the side. So I'm going to carefully cut that off. To make what looks like a little mini pillow, just without this side. Then I'm going to gently push this in there. Okay, and make sure it's folded neatly. See, now we've got a neat side here. We just need a neat side here. So I'm going to put all this extra stuff over there with the rest of the felt, because we can always reuse it for maybe some little mini pillows or things like that. Okay, so now we have this. So I'm going to do the same thing to this other side. Okay, so it got a little messier on this side, but that's okay. I can do my best. And I did a little bit of a better tie here. I need to cut off this extra fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. Be careful not to cut the actual stitching off. Leave an extra space in between there. Now this extra stuff I put in my felt pile. So now we have this cute mattress, but it would be kind of cool to add some detail. So I'm going to show you how to do that in literally right now. For this, it's just going to be, I'm going to figure out where the spaces are in between each cotton ball. You can kind of just feel them. There's space here, here. Okay. And I'm going to put little, the way I'm going to sew it, I'm going to put little ties in between each thing. So where the spaces are, I can feel them. I'm going to do, let's see, yeah, right there. I'm going to slide it in through that space. I'm going to pull it all the way. Okay, so now I have that first one. It's cute and clean. So I need to cut off this extra. Cut off this extra. So now we have that cute little spot right there. Yeah, oh, you can't see that. There we go. So we're going to do that with all the other spaces, and it's just a cute way to keep it a little neater. Now we have our mattress. Now I need to pick a bed sheet. Oh, but before I do that, I need to make sure that it still fits in here, even after being all stitched. If it doesn't, that could be a serious problem. Nice, a snug fit. It literally fits in there perfectly. This is going to be great. Okay, take it back out. Alright, so now I think it's time for me to paint this. Alright, I've moved my supplies to the garage. I have my paints, my paintbrush that's kind of getting old and I might need a new one. And my plate for the paints. I'm putting a plate under this so that way if any paint comes off, it'll go onto the plate instead of the garage floor, which is really not the best place for paint. Okay, so now it's mostly gray. I'm gonna need to do the edges on the other side, but since this is still drying, I'm gonna need to wait for that to dry, and then I'll be able to finish. So this has dried, and I put my little mattress in there. Now it's time to add the decorative toothpicks. Little piece of tape. Just okay. Now I will carefully put them on. Carefully putting each one on with no air bubbles. And we have that cute little overhang. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the other one. Okay, now her bed is finished and ready to be put in. It almost looks the size of a playpen. Well, it's time to put it in her room. Okay, I think I'm going to put it right here in the middle for now. It's the perfect fit. And it looks super cute. Well, see you guys later. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and keep watching.